morning, boys and girls, motorcycle fans. Sorry about my hair. I don't care anymore. I just don't care. It is March 1st, 2020. Gorgeous day again. No clouds, brilliant sunshine. Problem is, it's just in the low 50s, you know, and that's right on the cusp of where I want to, ride a motorcycle. But, and I'm tired of this. For South Carolina, a high of 52, that's cold, And I used to ride my bike in 26 degree weather up in Connecticut. I used to commute by motorcycle, and I actually bought a snowmobile suit so I could ride my motorcycle to work in sub-freezing weather. But, nowadays I'm old, I'm spoiled, and 50 is my cutoff, and we're just above that now. So anyway, I'm gonna bundle up, go for a nice long ride. As I've been saying, my motorcycle addiction is in full gear. It's rampant right now, and all of a sudden, after all my talk, all my blah 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 about how I did not want a powerful motorcycle and I wanted this do-it-all CB500X, now I want a powerful cruiser. It's just sad. And I want a bike that I can go cross-country on. But I don't want an 850-pound bike. I don't want a Harley Davidson where I have to shell out $500 every 3,000 miles, which is a little bit of an exaggeration, but the service costs on it are absurd because the thing is destroying itself all the time. Okay, there's nobody here. It's a yield sign. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, New York Cadillac. Jesus Christ. That's another thing. You live here, get ready for tourists. And I mean, the locals can't drive. You can imagine how the tourists drive down here when they don't know what they're doing or where they're going. It's not good. So anyway, God, I'm looking at everything. I think the Honda Interstate is gorgeous in shiny black and chrome. Oh my God. With the windshield and the saddlebags. I have no idea what they feel like. I have no idea what the suspension is like. I need a bike that doesn't, send shockwaves up my spine every time there's a ripple in the road. I need something that'll go across country, because I'm thinking I want to take some long trips, especially if I'm actually retired. And I don't even know if I'm retired or not yet. I was just looking at Indians late last night. I'm looking at Honda Sabres and VTXs, and it's just crazy. But anyway, that's enough blah 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 for right now. Let's go get the bike and go for a nice cruise. Palm trees. So hey guys, I don't know if you can see this or not, but you see these little black rubber knobs here that hold the windshield in? I had one of them rip off, so now I've replaced that with Gorilla Tape, and I reinforced the other three with Gorilla Tape as well. These things just wear out, and it's from the vibration of the screen, and maybe it's because I never seated the screen properly in the first place. Or maybe, having that extra deflector up here is just too much for what this is designed for. So I've taken the top screen off. I'm just going to have to deal with the wind. But, the number one problem I have with this bike, honestly, right now, well, first of all, I'd like a little more power. But secondly, when I'm on the highway, yeah, I can, especially with the upper deflector, I can get the wind off my helmet. I can have no buffeting. But my shoulders, when it's windy and I'm on the highway, my shoulders get knocked around. And of course, if your shoulders get knocked around, guess what else gets knocked around? Plus, it's just exhausting. So, this is why I'm ready to abandon this whole thing and give up on the dirt and go back to a power cruiser. But we shall see. All right, I'm finally ready to go. It's about 12:40 p.m. There's all kinds of weird shit going on. But when isn't there all kinds of weird shit going on, right? Oh my goodness. So, this is the 501, the infamous, horrible Route 501 with terrible traffic. Coming in here, coming down this road on a Friday, headed, you know, south or east or whatever they call it, into Myrtle Beach on the 501 on a Friday, you want to kill yourself. The traffic's so bad. And it's similar, it's not much better on a Saturday. Fortunately, we live close to the exact opposite road, which is this 31, and there's nobody on 31. It's amazing. So you go from the worst traffic you've ever seen in your life. Well, I mean, come on. I've seen much worse traffic. The Kosciuszko Bridge in New York City, downtown Atlanta. You know, Seattle isn't so good either, to tell you the truth. But anyway, bad, terrible 501. And then you get on 31 over here, and it's empty. So, let's see what we got here. Cruising on what Geico calls a sport bike. Tell you, I mean, insurance companies and healthcare companies, as far as I can tell, they're criminal enterprises. I mean, this is my view. They just, you know, I cannot imagine how insurance costs as much as it costs. And then, you know, deductibles and everything else. It's virtually pointless. But you gotta have it. Yeah, I'm noticing, look, this windshield is nice and steady now. Now, so is the blast on my forehead. But with a full coverage helmet, But again, you know, my shoulders are in the wind. Now, it's a nice even flow right now because, I guess because there isn't any real wind out here. So it's pretty steady state, which isn't bad. So I don't know. If you had to bet over under, will Quentin keep this CB500X for a year? I think you got to bet on the under. I think you got to bet it's not going to happen. But it could. Who knows? Who knows? One thing I told you, I learned my lesson now. I am not trading this into a dealer. I just paid $4,000 for this thing, and I just listed it on Cycle Trader for $4,900. And I'm not going to take less than $4,500 because I put in, you know, the foot pegs, the GB bars, this reinforcement brace, the cigarette lighter, the Puig windshield. So I'm not taking less than $4,500. Now, if I don't get that money, I'm not going to sell the bike. If I do get that money, I'm seriously thinking about taking that cash and going to buy me a much more, just a power cruiser, frankly. I could use a little more. I mean, obviously I could beat cars off of stoplights, but I gotta ring this little bastard out, and I don't like having to ring out a motorcycle to beat a car. That I should have gobs of power. Gobs. This has enough. Okay, so there's enough versus gobs. And I know it's exactly the opposite of what I said. Oh, I don't need a bike that's going to pull my arms out of its sockets and throw my head back. I kind of miss that. I mean, I like the power to be smooth. My CTX 1300 Honda had that V4. Wasn't overly powerful. It was 80 horsepower on a 720, 30-pound bike. But this thing, 45 horsepower on a 520-pound bike, which I think is correct. It's just not quite there. Now, this bike just does get right up into the 70s and sing right along at 5,800, 6,000 RPM. So, I mean, if it was in the summer and I welcomed that wind blast on my shoulders, you know, I could take this bike on a long, long trip. I put the Airhawk back on, give it just a little tweak of air. You know, what the hell? I'd be good. So these are some of the thoughts of the motorcycle addict, of the new motorcycle addict. You know, somebody once said man has, was it 5 needs? Air, water, food, shelter. Actually, there was like 7. It was women, and then new women was the final need. I love it, except they didn't use the word women. They referred to one of the key anatomical parts of the woman. So yes, food, air, shelter, water, women, and new women are the needs. Well, I don't get new women, as my wife will assure you, and I don't want new women, believe me. But I do want motorcycles and new motorcycles. That's what I want. Those are my needs. Air, shelter, food, clothing, water, motorcycles, and new motorcycles.